Right, let's get some more reaction to last night's result. Of course, Manchester United getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Grimsby Town in League Two. Jamie Jackson from The Guardian joins us now. Jamie, you were at the game last night. I mean, it's a simple question. Just how bad was it?
Dire. Probably the worst I've ever seen United play, in the flesh in my job as a correspondent. I've covered them since 2012. There was a game under Moyes in the Champions League. They lost 2-0 at Olympiacos, and they were absolutely awful. They stunk the place out. It was very odd how bad they were that evening in Piraeus, which is the port area of Athens. Last night was worse because it's fourth-tier opposition. Listen, Grimsby were excellent. Grimsby actually played, right, how Manchester United should play. Fast, hard, aggressive, passing it around at the back, then moving forward at the right moments, creating chances. There was like a header from Benjamin Sesko right at the end of the first half, and I was sitting there thinking, oh, yes, Manchester United are allowed to attack as well. And that sort of sums up how bad. Yeah, it's the worst I've ever seen the players, I say, in sort of 12, 13 years of covering them.
Jamie, I'm going to get on to Ruben Amorim in just a second, but you mentioned Benjamin Sesko there. How surprised were you in that penalty shootout that he stepped up so late and let every other single outfield player go in front of him?
I mean, your question has the answer. I mean, he is the new number 9, the leader of the attack. If he cannot be one of the lead-off penalty takers in that situation, because apart from anything else, does he not want to do that himself? As the new player to sort of show his teammates, listen, he can miss that penalty if he does step up sort of 1 to 5. But the point is, he's taken on responsibility, and that would do a lot for him, his standing, Amorim, whether, as I say, he scores it or not. So I cannot, for one reason, or fathom what has gone through his head. And if you are the head coach who's stroked the club, who's invested 74 million pound in this guy, I mean, unless it was under strict instructions from Amorim, don't take it. But I can't believe that either. I mean, what does it say about Sesko to the club, to Amorim, to his players? Listen, it's a snapshot. Hopefully he'll move on and be a lot more positive. But yeah, I mean, it was just very, very confusing. As well as I have to say, and I get it's a superstition thing, Amorim sitting on the bench, I believe it was, rather, because again, I was searching for him on the touchline, where the dugouts were yesterday evening at Blundell Park. It's right below where we sit as the press. I was thinking, where's Amorim at? He's got to be watching this. I kept on scanning, as it went around all the penalties, sort of 10, 11, 12 times, but no, I couldn't see him. And it turns out he wasn't watching. Now, I get, as I say, it's a superstition, but come on, show some leadership. Just stand there. And again, if you lose a shootout, that can happen. But it just seems that is not, in my humble opinion, that is not leadership when you need it most, which is to sort of say, okay, lads, here I am. I'm the head coach. I'm going to watch this with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a weird one from Ruben Amorim. Did you expect him, Jamie, to be under so much pressure so soon into the season?
I kind of did, actually, only because I've been round the block so many times with different manager stroke head coaches at United. Then you factor in how bad they were last season, obviously 15th, arguably the worst European club competition final ever to Spurs 1-0. I was at the last friendly, Fiorentina. I took my son, who's a supporter, so I was there as a sort of punter at Old Trafford. Last friendly before the start of the season, and United were flat. They just were. I mean, that can happen, I get that, but I'm not that surprised at all. I don't see anything in the 8 or 9 months he's been in charge to sort of indicate, yeah, there's progress. Maybe that will happen. I get that he needs time, but how much time does he need? Each club is different, but look at Thomas Frank at Spurs, what he's done in sort of 2 games. I was at the City game last Saturday when, Thomas Frank Spurs did a number on Manchester City at their ground. Amorim's had 8 or 9 months, and I'm not seeing, and I'm being polite, not much, too much progress.
Yeah. What about Andre Onana then? He was at fault for the goals yesterday. I mean, Ruben Amorim said, it's not just down to him, but do Manchester United desperately need a goalkeeper? Is that just as simple as it gets?
Yeah, I think that's the bottom line. I mean, take your pick. The first one, he gets beaten at his near post, and the second one, he misses his punch completely. I mean, he's a goalkeeper. He's allowed to use his hands, obviously. I mean, that was. If you're not a United fan, that was hilarious. That was farcical. If you are a United fan or a United player, anyone of a United persuasion, that is, the latest sort of dagger to the heart with regard to the goalkeeper, because obviously Bayern Deer had played the previous 2 games, and committed mistakes. So yeah, they need a new goalkeeper, and obviously Senny Lamans, as you've been discussing, as Carve rightly says, I'm not sure he's ready to be chucked in. It's interesting. He's 23. He's not yet played for the Belgium senior international side, which I suggest is interesting. So yeah, Donnarumma for me would be a good option. He's available, but yeah, can they afford it? Everything that Carve was rightly saying earlier, just previously, about whether he'd want to go there now. Because what we're describing here, if you zoom out a little bit, is basically it's still a bit of a mess. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe, having been in there for what is it, a year and a half now, certainly a good year. Again, are they really moving forward? Maybe this is the darkest point before the dawn. I like to be glass half full. So maybe, you know, from we're going to have this nadir yesterday evening at Grimsby, and from here on in, they're going to gradually improve. And by Christmas, we're like, okay, we can see it. But so far, you can only go on facts, the evidence of your eyes, the league performance, European competition performance, being knocked out before the transfer window is closed of the Carabao Cup. You know, these are all facts, and they're not great.
Yeah, another fact for you, Jamie, is that Manchester United are struggling to get rid of the players that they've got up for sale. And, you know, that's a big thing. There's 3 or 4 of them that you need to get out, but just are struggling to right now.
Yeah, I mean, Garnacho may go to Chelsea. Jadon Sancho, that's gone completely quiet. I mean, he arrived under Solskjaer as, I think, a 74, 75 million pound marquee signing, Europe's next bright thing, and the sort of the black hole or vortex that is players' careers at Old Trafford. He's been sucked into that, sadly, for Jadon Sancho. Rasmus Højlund's another one. Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave. Now, here's an interesting one. For me, Kobbie Mainoo is good enough to start for Manchester United, you know, if they were title challengers, never mind sort of, you know, a side that finished 15 is struggling. I mean, you know, he's class. He's a class player. You know, started the European Championship final for England, FA Cup winning goal. You know, I don't need to go on too much. So yeah, again, this is a function, or this is sort of an emblem of the sort of situation Manchester United, and they can't seem to. You know, how can you not sell one player in the summer? I just, again, I'm even for someone who covers the club and has covered the club for so long as I describe, I am baffled by what is going on there. And trust me, there's been messes before.